Okay, well, I just got home. It's Tuesday, but I haven't been able to. I recorded. I can't post because all of a sudden I got a strike out of the blue right when all of the drama started on TikTok, like with Congress and stuff like that. Which, I still don't even know how that's going. I've been really, really busy all week, anyways. So then, even when it took my thing down, I was like, well, I just felt like they just didn't want me to post. I sort of felt like they wanted me to focus on, the here and now, what I had going on, and to not focus and to kind of let that go. And but after the last video I did, so I posted, I think, last Tuesday morning, and then Wednesday morning, I went into, I recorded and I went into post it, and it wouldn't let me. I'm trying to think, was that Wednesday morning? I'm so mixed up. And then it seems like the stuff that they sent doesn't even match. But I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday, I went and took her to the airport. Then Wednesday, I ended up leaving because Thursday there was going to be a storm on the pass. So Wednesday morning was the last one I posted. And so I posted that one, and then I left and I went on my thing. And then I got there and I posted, and they wouldn't let me. And I got an email that said that they took down, one about the water. So that was, I swear to God, that was months and months ago. I don't even know how long ago that was. So they went in all of a sudden out of that and said, that I'm passing misinformation or whatever. And then, so they gave me a strike. And when they strike you on YouTube, you're not allowed to record, or you're not allowed to post for a week. And then the second one, I don't know, because they said I had one strike and that was 1 week detention or whatever. And then if you get 2, it's more serious. Then if you get 3, you'll just lose your whole account. Oh man, I'm so sick of this shit. And then on TikTok, and it was, I don't even remember. I'm definitely, I keep getting things sent to me. I don't know what the stuff with Congress or whatever, they're doing new terms of service or something. And then when I went in and as they keep sending these different ones, updated community guidelines, it doesn't seem updated to me. But at the end of this last one that they sent today, then they took that account off restriction, and they said my account was in good standing. But then they gave a whole new thing about their strikes and stuff. So I don't know. Who knows who's got it, which side's got what. I feel like I'm not supposed to really talk about like current events anymore. It's, to me, it's crystal clear. Like, everything happening is so over the top absurd to wake people up. And, a lot of people have personal traumas and a lot of personal horrible stuff going on. And that is all their soul stuff. They're coming here to learn and grow this soul stuff. So whatever they have going on in their soul contracts and their different lives and their different lessons, then that's what they're playing out. And, so much of it seems super tragic, but that is to help bring us together in unity, like a community where we care for one another, that we're there for each other, that we will help when we can help, and all of that stuff. And so everything happening is supposed to be bringing us into that kind of, compassionate, caring, humanity, love, and all that stuff. So, and I think it's working. I think it's happening. You keep seeing communities keep coming together, and it's one thing that people keep saying, even in all of these different disasters, is how great it is when they come together with other people and neighbors, and how everybody comes in and tries to help one another. And that's why everything is happening. And even though it seems extreme and some people think it's just the end of the world, no, it's just the end of these times. It's a dramatic ending to these times. But the I did see about what happened. I didn't see what happened. I just saw that there was another one that involved the kids, and you know, and they're gonna keep doing that. One side is gonna keep doing these. You know, they're not gonna stop trying to control us. I mean, they've got a lot of stuff going on still with the 15-minute cities. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. I keep seeing too. And I have barely even been on there. Like, to me, I don't even know if I'm even gonna, I would say over the past week, I've been on TikTok maybe an hour altogether. I've just been, you know, super busy. And if I'm sitting with people, especially people I haven't seen in a while, I'm not going to sit there on my phone. I'm going to sit in conversations and stuff. The only time I looked at my phone is if I was, you know, it was 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm sitting there by myself. And so I didn't really see a lot because I'm still getting just bombarded, it seems like, with tarot readings. And they all just keep saying the same things over and over. So, I don't know. I feel like everything is going to be switching soon. I don't know how it's going to switch. I don't know what's going to happen. But I definitely, you know, I think that people like me who are trying to help people are going to, you know, we're going to come out of the dark, out of the censorship and stuff. So, you know, that's going to go down. And I don't know if that's going to just be a part of the wave of change. So all of a sudden, all of this is lifted, where it's like all of us are seen or something, and people will be bombarded. One thing that was really cool, there's another thing. Oh yeah, because I wanted to make sure and say, this is kind of odd because I did see this one, is State Farm has put out this big old bulletin thing asking, saying that they're going to need a ton of adjusters for a certain type of claim, which is a disaster claim, and it has a list of which kind of disasters. Can be explosions, could be tornadoes, could be, it was like, I don't know, 6 or 8 things for these kind of people they're looking for. And they bring them in after big disasters and stuff. And so the ad that they're looking for is that they need people on the 29th in Ohio. They're projected. We're pretty sure we got something going on right up there. Like, that's the absurdity of this shit, man. That is, you know, what people have to see. We're so controlled. It really just, I can't get it out of my head how much it is like that we were, you know, it's like we were fish in the ocean, just swimming free. And then all of a sudden they scooped us all up and put us in this saltwater tank in their living room, and then told us that it was all there is. That's all there is. This is real life. This is all there is. You know, and sometimes they drop in sharks and shit on us, and create storms and all sorts of stuff, you know, to keep us, you know, knowing that we're out there, that we don't have control. And the sad thing is like, we don't have control, but there's a reason, there's a purpose to that, and that they are confusing it. Because if people really understood, you know, about fate and destiny, and that you are playing a part, and that it's already written, then, you know, and then plus the big thing is, I swear to God, is if people could start understanding, they're in observation of self. Like, there is so many people, like, you know, they pass and they left things undone. They left, you know, hurt feelings. They did a lot of hard, mean things to people. And when they pass, people think, I mean, you know, that stuff is gone. You can't fix that stuff. But the person that passes is the one that feels that burden to a huge degree, because they're the ones who left the mess. And then when they are looking from that perspective, from observation. They're not in the game anymore. They're able to disconnect and witness themselves. That's about the whole thing with your life review. But so when people are able to get into that because they have such a hard time in life being able to disconnect from self and become an observer and witness themselves. And they always have to lean because they live in their own pain and they feel like everybody's poking at their pain. Like, it's such a huge thing, you know, with this society wants to create victims and instead of empowerment, because once you take responsibility for your own behaviors, your own attitude and all that stuff, it's empowerment. When you are, you know, being, everybody's pushing your buttons, then you're a victim. Man, I'm getting a lot of messages, comments on TikTok. Probably somebody coming in to tell me they're praying for me. Who knows? That happens. Like, all of a sudden, it will just be nonstop. The last video I had done on there was something about the food tasting so weird. And it was right before I was leaving. I think it was before I was going to take her. So I think it was on Tuesday was the last video I did on there. And I was having such a hard time finding anything to eat. I was living off peanut butter cookies. And I said something like that on TikTok. And that one has been getting a lot of people who have been agreeing, like, food tastes weird. And, you know, people are having a hard time. I think it is the artificialness. I think it's kind of like we're starting to realize how artificial stuff is. It's so weird how there's this fake, an illusion, but then that we can have this experience to our senses, especially when it's just programmed into us. It's like once we start questioning, then it's like we break the program. And then it's like we start realizing, oh, this doesn't taste so good. But then also, on top, besides being something like that with our consciousness, we also have this artificial stuff that they are showing more and more, because the absurdity part, where they're showing more and more how artificial this food is that we're eating. And, you know, it's not healthy. It's tasteless. Everything is so artificial with the, I mean, I think some of the food even that we're eating is just like plastic or something. So, but let me think, what was else? Because there was some more stuff about, I think I'm going to try and post this. Maybe I might try and post this tomorrow morning and just post too. Because, so I looked to see, and it says the last video I posted was 6 days. The email that they sent me, it says Thursday. So they may not let me even post tomorrow. They may not let me post till Thursday. Because when it depends on when they gave me the strike, not the last time I posted. So if I was going to post the next morning, and then maybe I videoed that morning and then I posted it when I got there. I can't remember now. I mean, there's so many things that I don't remember. It's just, after having so many years of having a brain injury, it's just as like, I don't remember a lot of things, but I also have realized a lot of things that I don't remember don't really matter. Like, we worry too much on the details that don't really fucking matter. And so, you know, just gotta let it go. Like, whenever it was sometime, and so I won't be able to post until they let me post again. And depending on how bad, I mean, where they come in, like after a fucking year, and just start going through all of your stuff, and then find something. And it is so absurd too. It's like, they don't even let me have hardly any views to begin with. It's like, there's barely anybody who ever gets to see my video. And then they just like, I mean, it just shows me that the information that I talk about is just really the information the dark side doesn't want people to know. They don't want people to have this independent thought of self and a bigger purpose to what they're doing here, and that fate and destiny takes a huge relief. You know, they get you out there chasing your dream, like you can make this happen, and you're sitting out there just going crazy trying to make something happen that's not meant to happen, and out of frustration and in competition and all of this stuff. And so, you know, if people really understood, oh, everything's fate and destiny, I'm just here playing this part to witness myself of my own behavior, especially through the hardest times, the times that are the most trying on your psyche, on your emotions, on all of that stuff. And so when you are pushed, you know, who do you become? But one thing that was really cool, so I wasn't able to post or anything, and it was, you know, I just felt like it was being done like they didn't want me to post. So I just kind of let go of the TikTok thing. I just kind of just let it go for the week and just didn't stress, even though it was kind of like there was a lot of things that I wanted to say, but then it was more about keeping present too. But there was some cool stuff. There was a lot of cool stuff. And, you know, I'll probably just mention it throughout. I'm not going to be able to do a whole synopsis of the trip. But I do want to say the thing that was cool is because, so I was, of course, you know, being told anything I would say, you know, oh, you're so crazy and stuff like that. And my granddaughter, this one granddaughter, she... so every time anybody talks to me, they don't get what they think they're going to get. I mean, they all think they're going to get something crazy. But I just, like, talk to me about global warming and the weather. You're not going to get what you're looking for. Like, I've got a very different opinion. And so things like, and they're always like, how does this always wrap back? And they'll say, your beliefs. How does this always turn into your beliefs? This isn't my beliefs. This is real stuff going on right under your nose. You're not paying attention. And so I had an opportunity to say some really good, significant things. And it's not coming from me. I know it's coming from out in the ethers, or, you know, my guides or whatever, their guides. There's just so much times where I just feel like I'm just, what is that called? It's kind of it's like a receiver, like an antenna, kind of. And then, like, the information is just stuff that somebody's supposed to hear at certain times. And I just, as weird is like how this has been going over this time. And then you see, like, the small amount of people. And then I sure hope I get to meet everybody, you know. Everybody, you know, that has been consistent over those 2 years, like, where we've talked and stuff like that. But anyways, but it's going to be like a totally different energy, a totally, like, different kind of thing when it starts being more of the people who don't see things, you know, start waking up. And so when I was there was like a few different conversations, but I got to drop some really good stuff. And not giving any details about stuff. It would just be like, somebody would say something, I would say something, and I'd be like, oh my God, you know, there goes the crazy talk or whatever and stuff like that. Like, one of the times, I don't remember what it was, but my granddaughter, she was like, oh, Grandma, you just need to get off TikTok. You sit on TikTok too much. You get all your information off TikTok. Which is it's so absurd, because before it was, oh, all you do is watch YouTube. You get all your crazy stuff off YouTube. And then all of a sudden it became TikTok. They're always looking for something that they just think I get my crazy information from. But so I got a good opportunity to tell them that's not how it works. I don't just go on TikTok and see a video and run around telling. No, this is stuff that has been going on for years. This is stuff that I look into. And so I did get to explain to them. And, you know, when they started saying, like, oh my God, that's not true, you know, like, we're not eating people. The Planned Parenthood is not corporations selling body parts. None of that stuff is true. No. Climate change is real. All those stuff, that they think that I, shoot down, and that they think is just, nonsense of somebody I see say something silly on TikTok or something, and I believe it. So I said, any of the stuff I say, then go look it up. Go look it up. Don't sit here. There shouldn't be any argument. If you don't believe what I say, just go look it up for yourself. And so that was a big one. And they did start trying to look up one of the things I was saying when I said there was an overpopulation. That was a big conversation we got into. Because they all believe there is overpopulation. I said, yeah, because you go into an overcrowded city, and then you believe because everybody's fighting for this one job. And then my one daughter too, who was, university grad, so highly indoctrinated, she said that, oh, yes, it is, blah, blah, whatever. I can't even remember the narrative thing. And I said, stop flying over every place. You fly over, you go and travel, but you don't go. I said, if you start driving around and seeing the world, then you will see it's open space everywhere. You've got everybody crammed into one little place. If everybody went out and had their own space and then wasn't dependent on corporations to feed them, we would be living in harmony with the planet. There isn't overpopulation. It's the way we live. And so then, but that was like 2 days after. Like, there was a lot of little things about when I got to see all that. And then they're like, okay, well, yeah, I get what you're saying now. I was like, yeah. And I said about that everybody could fit in Texas. And they were like, no way. And I said everybody could have an acre and fit in Texas. I think it's the whole world. If they had 5 acres, it is like Texas and Arizona or something. But the funny thing is so they kept saying, well, we're looking that up and we can't find it. And so I said, well, I saw it a while ago. A lot of this stuff gets taken down, and I saw it in several different things and stuff. And so I went and looked up the keywords that I thought of. And then what popped up was everything saying, people think that everybody could fit into Texas, but it's not true. And they start doing all this math, which I don't buy their fucking math. I don't buy any of this stuff about. There's nothing that they say that I buy. I believe that the forests are. I believe it's layers and realities and portals and all of that stuff. I think that we think it's something, so we see it the way that we think it is. So, anyways, so I gotta think back what I was saying. So when I told him about that whole thing, and when I looked it up and on Google, then it was saying that it was like Snopes stuff, saying that that's not true. And I thought, well, isn't that funny? That just coincidentally, why didn't they say Kansas and Nevada? It just so happens to be the place that I heard over the last couple of years. I was shocking to me. Like, when you think about all the people in the world, it's so built up in our mind that it is hard to understand about them being in, taking up really such a small amount of space with equal divide of land. And, how we're just so misled. And people just believe it. They buy into everything they're told. But there was a couple more things. Like I say, one of the things, my daughter, she was giving me a hard time. They always give me a hard time because I feed Stella real food. And they think I'm just like over the top. And they'll say things all the time. And one of my daughters kept saying stuff. And I said, do you notice how controlling and judgmental you are? And all of a sudden it just clicked. And so she had healed enough that she could hear something like that and not be triggered and not get mad and not have a fit. No, she ran over and gave me a hug and apologized and said, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be judging or be in control. It's like, because we don't want to be that kind of person. We just don't recognize it. That's why this is an important thing that is happening for us to get to see ourselves, and why it's important to be honest, but not to be fighting and triggered. To just be honest like that, to say, call somebody out on their stuff and let them recognize for themselves. Like, I wasn't going to argue with her. I just walked off. I just said, do you notice how controlling and judgmental you are? And I just walked off and went, I think I went in the bathroom or something. And then when I came back in, she ran over and started hugging me and saying, that she was sorry and she loved me. And there was some more stuff I got to say, but a lot of the things too, I got to point out, like, that the reason that they aren't seeing things clearly is because they're just slaves to work, and they're focused on the things that they focus on. So I was getting them to understand that life is, you're focused on what you're paying attention to has to do with things. And so the 3 daughters that were there and their significant others, it was, we had so much fun too. It was really fun, and the place that we ended up getting was cool. I would love to get this place. Like, I could see so much potential. And the people who have it seem to me like grandkids that had inherited it or something, and we're just trying to use it as a Airbnb. And it was like a horse ranch before, so it has this whole setup, and you can tell that they must have sold off all the horses, and because all the fences and stuff, what was happening and falling and getting all of this great expensive supplies just getting ruined. So you could tell it's definitely not the person who bought this stuff is done, so I don't know. It definitely, this place hadn't been cared about. Things in the place, like, it was so outdated, and there was just so much potential. It's just a shame and that is where gluttony, it plays a part. Where people have things that if you can't take care of what you have, you don't need it. You only need what you can take care of. If you've got more than you can take care of, then, there's no reason to have it. And so I don't know why these people keep this place when they obviously don't care about it. And they don't do things updated. I mean, I went in to turn on the sink and the whole thing came off. It was like, I went to go clean the stove and it was like all dirty. I was like, oh my gosh, I thought this was like stains. No, it's just dirt. I had to wipe up some off the floor, totally dirty. I was like, man, did they even clean this place? I think all they do is just, do the laundry. They probably have a service. The people who originally had it for sure don't go there. I mean, it had all this, they had like a cute theme, but it was like, okay, it's like, this place needs to be updated. And so anyways, I even told my daughter, because she was the one who had been talking to them, I said, ask them if they're interested in selling, because this place would be perfect for my idea of what I want to do, the place that I want to get there. But let me think, there was something. Oh yeah, so those daughters, they were all there. And with all of the different, okay, so there's different people who I keep hearing stories about. And I am, hearing people about putting out some really toxic, bad energy, who would, and affecting others. That is going to come back on people. And it's going to come back so hard that it is hard to imagine. That's where I'm saying a lot of people won't be able to heal from some of the energy they're putting out. It's going to be too hard to face themselves and see themselves for who they are. And so a lot of them won't, there's going to be a lot of suicide when the mirror is shown in front of people. But, and what makes me feel good is just no matter where people are on their journey of healing, any of the people, even if you think they're not awake or anything, pay attention, because there's something inside them healing. They're talking about work differently. They're talking about how they live differently. They're talking about their relationships differently. Just notice those kinds of things and try not to get too caught up in all of the other, like, well, they don't know what's going on with the government. They don't know what's going on with the board. They don't know what's going on with this or that. And I got to say a lot of stuff about that. You know, like one of my daughters was like, oh, my hair's falling out because of the postpartum. I said, oh, yeah, mine's all falling out from the 5G. I got to really be careful because they really want to take me down. So I'm really going to not talk about stuff that is, I mean, I've said so much stuff like, I think I've made it clear what I think of what's going on here, but I'm gonna focus some over the next week anyways. I think like tomorrow and stuff over my story, and I may start all the way from the beginning, but I didn't finish about, so man, this keeps going and going. I don't my daughter, my youngest daughter though, she didn't come, she's not, and now she's moved on to not wanting to talk to her dad too, which I don't know what's going to go on with that, you know, that's in the process. So but you know, as she just pulls more and more away, and it's important to leave your trigger people around you. Don't push your trigger people away from you. You want these things to come up. It's hard, and some of them are deep, and it's hard to see what's in you that needs to be healed when you're triggered, but that needs to be the focus. And but she's pulling further away. She even sent, I bought her a ring for her when she graduated college, a really pretty ring, and she picked out the stone. I remember kind of, but I had forgotten about the ring, but my one daughter brought it and returned it to me. So she's returning things to me now, like of things that, you know, momental, I don't know, gifts that should be have special importance, memories, and she's returning those, which, you know, whatever, I'm not gonna stress out about it, because to me the most important thing is, no matter how clumsy someone is healing, no matter how they're doing it, the most important thing is the healing. That's the most important thing going on right now. So even if somebody is not doing it, you know, I mean, there's lots of people not doing it on my path, you know, like spiritual and stuff. I think it's going to go more that direction, but you know, people have to see. I mean, it's going to keep being like a really clumsy kind of thing because it's so misdirected through psychology and pharmaceuticals. So there's so much, you know, that's leading people a different path where things can go a lot smoother. Like I don't know. I mean, my healing stuff worked for me, and it wasn't, I mean, you know, it was coming from outside of me. You know, I was being guided through my stuff. And so, you know, I just share my journey. But anyway, so even if she is mad at me and doesn't want to talk to me and sending things back to me, I'm still so happy because she's healing. She's working on herself. And all of my kids, I feel like most everybody in my family is really working on some healing, something inside of their, you know, their health, their relationships, just anything. And that is, you know, that's taking a stand for yourself in your life, taking, empowering yourself, taking a stand to go in a direction you want to go. I've only been talking 30 minutes, man. It seems like I've been talking hours. I'll just stop now. Anyways, and I'll talk more about some of the stuff tomorrow, because I want to talk more about just healing. They're not going to let me post this today anyways. So, I'll try and post it in the morning, and I'll video in the morning and try and post them both. But I'm expecting that I'm not going to be able to post until the 7 days from the email, which was Thursday. So I don't know. I know on TikTok, I've only been on here on YouTube one other time where I was restricted. And then on TikTok, I've been restricted a bunch of times. Twitter, I've lost those things. So, and another thing too is everybody is supposed to change. Well, you're supposed to change your little icon face thing to TikTok logo on every single thing that's Zucker. Sucker. He's such a dig. But it's part of the show. Like this whole thing that's going on and everything. But WhatsApp, the talking one, what is that called? Messenger, Facebook, Instagram, and Meta. Everybody's supposed to turn those off. And so we're trying to they're trying to, not me, I dropped those things a long time ago, but I guess I had WhatsApp until a couple months ago, and Messenger until a couple months ago. Facebook was a long time ago when they hacked my account and took it away. And then Instagram I guess that's the only other one. My Instagram one, I stopped using. I have 3 Instagram accounts. Dog one, art one, and my personal one. And it was family stuff, so it was family pictures and stuff like that. And so as soon as 2020, as soon as I started saying stuff and I started getting called crazy, I just stopped. I didn't go and post stuff for my family and stuff. See, I was like, I'm not fucking, I'm just, I would see posts from cousins and stuff like that, and they were like, we were on 2 different perspectives on things. So this is going to be very interesting when everybody starts seeing me through a new lens. It's going to be very interesting. But anyways, so I'll post this. I feel really out of it. I feel like I haven't gotten any sleep for so long. Right now, I've been sitting here, and I think the past 15 or 20 minutes, it feels like the whole ground is vibrating. I don't know if I'm vibrating or not because my eyes are so bad right now. I'll barely see, but they feel like they're on fire too, but it feels like the ground is just like shaking. It's really weird. So I don't know, it's kind of a little bit windy, but I don't know what is going to go down. Like, it's supposed to be by the end of the month. There's big things with them. It's really getting people to talk about money things now too. People are starting to see, like, oh, this money thing is going on with the rest of the world. We're just being left out now. It's like, well, that's how they got to get your attention. Because Americans are the most distracted, ego-driven, shallow, superficial. It's really sad and scary, like what's happened here. But, it's so much a part of is in our programming. I was watching something with, and I'm the worst to watch anything with, she turned on girls. Oh, God, Lena Dern. God. I was like, see, a person like this, she is leading society in a completely wrong direction. That energy is going to go with her. And the people, like I said, the energy that's going to flip back on him. There's going to be people who have been leading people in the wrong direction, and they're going to just crash. Like, they're going to start losing everything. I don't know how it's going to go down with each person, because each soul has its own thing that's going to do to experience. So it's hard to know, but there's going to be a lot of people. Fuck, something is really shaking. This is weird. It feels like something is coming up underneath my house. This is so weird. But so she is, that would be so cool if it did happen, like right on the video and something burst through. God, that'd be cool. But like I kept pointing out all of the disgusting things of how they mislead kids and stuff, You want everybody to have a fucking TV in every fucking room, have a fucking screen in your pocket. You make sure you're being programmed at all times. And when you start pointing out to people, the warped, just like on this, and this is, I really do not want this person to feel like I'm throwing him under the bus, because I really 100% am not. Every single thing that I think that people are doing that is unusual, not typical, is programming, is indoctrination. But so this is because it's not just that there's people who are raising their kids to be genderless or gender neutral, just not giving them any identifiers. It is more of they're kind of cross-dressing their kids. And then it's like these kids who are doing this, who think they're so progressive, they don't realize the other side. They haven't raised a child yet. They don't know. They haven't seen what they're doing. They don't see. They're playing out their selves through their kid. Your kid is not asking for this. You're going to go all in on this. The kid has to choose its own gender, but then you're cross-dressing it. That's not, that, I mean, fuck. I think that was even in John what was that? I swear to God, there's some movie or something he was in. But there has been so many things that have come out about parents doing that to, like, a mom who really wanted a daughter. And so she made her little boy dress up in girls' clothes. Like, that stuff keeps coming out and coming out. It's been going on for a while. And so that is where you think, like, this person is, mentally got a problem. But now they've normalized it. Now it's totally okay. Yeah, because now they're pushing an agenda that makes no sense, because you aren't letting them decide. You're giving them baby pictures. What if they are very masculine? How are you going to handle that? What if they feel so much shame from that? Like, people don't understand. Kids come in to teach you things. Like, the learning is generational. Like, it is a whole thing. It's not just one thing. And so, these people haven't even, come to, experience having their kids be angry and disappointed and, I don't know. I mean, these people are doing things to their kids that are over the top, and they don't realize it. They think they're just being progressive and, showing, what they're being misled. It just is really... Now, I'm glad things are going to flip, but it's going to be hard for a lot of people. They're going to have to really be able to, step back and be like, oh, man, yeah, that was, and there's a lot of ego and needing to be accepted and stuff in the progressive movement. You need others to admire, like, you're so progressive, you're such a good parent and stuff like that. You're so open. It's so funny because they think they're so open-minded, but really they're just so closed up in the box. Because that, to me, is like the same thing as we're in the fish tank. And, some of us are looking outside the fish tank saying, hey, there's something else out there. And then you have all these other people like, no, this is beautiful. This is wonderful. Why would you even complain about this? This is the best life. It's like, because they decide when we eat. They decide when we have clean water. They decide if we get air. They decide if somebody lives and dies. I want to just live, free. And the controlled habitat, it is so much about thinking inside the box, staying, I mean, there's a point of being positive and being happy, but also you have to be, honest with yourself. I mean, if you have to kind of go a little bit deeper, like, than just be Pollyanna. Oh, life's great. Yeah, you got to have a good attitude, but you also have to recognize if you're being abused, not just go, because it's gonna beat you down. Like, I think the biggest part of life is to learn to love yourself and take care of yourself and stand up for yourself, believe in yourself, and all of those kinds of things. It's a development of self. And so, especially when I drive, man, they show me so many things. I have so many things popping into my head right now, but I can't just think of them all or say them all, and I'm tired as shit. So, anyways, I don't know, I'll just stop here. It's like, well, what else do I need to say to wrap it up? But I will talk more tomorrow about it, and just do try and be positive about the people who are trying to heal. Don't be putting a lot of pressure on them to see everything else. Like, I told all of them they need to look stuff up. I said, if I say something you think is crazy, go look it up for yourself. Don't just sit here and tell me I'm crazy. That just makes you look ignorant. Like, you don't even go look something up. And then, but a lot of them, after hearing some of the things that I said like that, it's like then they stopped saying stuff like that. You know, stop saying, oh, you just make stuff up. Because then I'm going to say, look it up. God damn. And especially to my grandkids. But that shows that that is the, you know, that's the label, the identify, the adjectives or whatever about me, the acceptable view of me is just a crazy person who talks about weird stuff, who pays attention to weird stuff, who's paranoid about things. But look at, you know, we're supposed to be all that stuff that was going to go down for the 23rd. And I was like freaked out about going and being there when they're saying all this is going to go down. And now it still is supposed to be by the end of this month. There's something big is supposed to happen. And then they're saying that about this Ohio tragic thing, whatever. So you know, there's still more stuff to go. I mean, we haven't switched. We're not going the other direction. Even if things are starting to flip, it's still, we haven't turned to go the other direction. It's going to be a lot more, I think. So, and it's, I told a lot of people about the money thing. It's shocking how many people don't know about the money thing. And how many people are going to look at it so different than what it really is going to be. So, that could be the big thing. You know, I don't know. It's like I said, there's so many balls in the air. It could be anything. But anyways, I'm not going to just focus on all that stuff. It's happening. It's going to keep happening. It's going to obviously keep happening slowly. And another thing, too, is where these people say about, like, if you think about something too much or if too many people think about it, it's going to happen. No, I think all these things should prove that that is not how it works. You know, we've had tons and tons of people who thought, oh, this is going to happen on this day. This is going to happen on this day. And then nothing happens because that isn't, it's fate and destiny. It's divine timing. It's everything has a time and a place. And whatever your issue is with the time and place of everything is the issues you're supposed to be working on. Like, you know, in my case, it's, you know, faith, I feel like I have hope and all that stuff. There's just certain things about my stuff where it's hard to keep your, you know, to keep that momentum of your belief where you don't, when you don't see signs of something in the physical, it's hard to, you know, even when you know stuff spiritually, when you don't see things in the physical, it wears on you. So anyways, I do have some of that stuff, my own personal stuff, that where, you know, just like the way censorship, well, losing my account, there's the constant beat down on what goes on with my account and shit. It's like, oh my God, like how long do I have to keep doing this where it's like man, that's rough. So anyways, I'll be back tomorrow, even though nobody's going to see this. I'm not even going to try and put it on tonight. I'll try tomorrow though. So I will talk to you later. Bye.